I don't even think I had sex on either of my parents.
Because that was a generation that didn't have it.
But also,
And with our generation, we kind of watch and absorb. Like I know that I'll watch something. Like I know I can watch something and take it in, and I'll be like, okay, I know that. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. Okay. I know it's with my kids. I think now there's none of that.
They're
It's
coming
just
to you at an age and you're just like, oh my gosh, like you're. Like I remember my daughter at 12 asking me, when is it okay to have sex? And I wanted to like drop off the bed, and I had to like zone back into my brain and say, so why are you asking me this question, right? Because my mother never talked about that. I learned everything from my friends or from the streets.
yeah.
But this generation, they're
That's
asking
how I
us at 5 or 6 years old.
Because one day it's weird. Even though you have all the technology now to keep track of them,
Oh
you
yeah.
don't allow your kids to go anywhere.
Tracking.
But you don't allow them to go anywhere. Like we
We rode
come
the
home
subway.
before the street light. Don't leave this street or what?
Yes.
Like you were given boundaries. You know you're not supposed. You might have done it. You know you'll sneak a little bit, but thing now you don't. Parents don't even want to let their kids go anywhere. But it's like you have a phone that goes with you. There's video on it. You can see where they are, and even still you're still like, nah, you're not. I don't think I want you to go to it.
Right, because we were riding the subway when we were 8 or 9 years old. Your 8 or 9-year-old is not riding a bus today without you, right? Because it's a different generation.
But the thing is, that's
That's
what I'm trying to say. They should be able to ride a bus now. They have the phone. You can sit. You can be on the bus with them. Put the phone. Put the video on. You can see where they're going. When we were coming, we didn't have that. It was your pay. Once you hung up, it was all hope.
But let me tell you this.
Meeting up with someone, it was all hope.
But Warren might not have seen this. I remember being called to a call in transit, and there was an 11-year-old being sexually assaulted by a man on the bus. My daughter was 12 at the time, and I was freaking out. I took the phone and said to the mother, the bus is coming to the station at this time. I need you to walk to the bus, and I will hand your daughter over to you. And I don't think back when we were growing up and only had to come home when the street lights went on, that kind of stuff was so prevalent as it is today.
I think it was. It's just
We didn't have social media.
and that's what a lot of the thing is now. It's not that stuff didn't go on in our time.
Not
We
as
know
much,
stuff
though.
went on,
No,
but that's why.
not as
But
much.
that's, no, it's not.
No, it
but you
wasn't
hear a
as
lot
much.
but you hear a lot of celebrities say, social media was out in our time.
Just in
A
different
lot of the
way.
stuff we
Just
do
in a different way.
wouldn't be seen, and that's what it is. It's just the stuff back then. It wasn't exposed because it was all based on someone with a camera, a professional person following you around, looking for you. Now, any person in the street can film you. You have the phone.
Yeah, it's
Something stupid happens right now.
Yep.
Someone could pop out a phone and do it. Back then, if something stupid
Absolutely,
happened,
and it's
only
uploaded.
we knew about it.
right, and it's uploaded to social media, and everybody's got their
Instantly.
comments.
Before we even walk
Instantly.
out this backyard,
Right
most
away.
people would know what just happened. You
Yeah,
did
it's
something
true.
and you put it. Back
And I
then you
think
did it.
that-
You had to wait for someone to get it. It'd be reported, and then it get put in the news. By that time, that person has already made up their story to cover whatever it is that happened.
I call it we're in the microwave generation.
Again, yes.
And it's uploaded.
That's how I feel.
We're going to take a little quick introduction here to introduce a very special guest, Bex. Welcome to the podcast. Late, but you're here. that's all that matters. That's
I like
all
to
that
say fashionably late.
Sorry.
Fast.
For work. For work.
It's all good,
For
it's
work
all good.
stuff, man.
So to
Yeah,
keep
we
you in
get
the
it.
loop, right now our topic that we're discussing is would you take your son to a strip club? when
Or
he's
is it
up?
okay for a man to bring his son to
A
a
strip
strip
club.
on his 18th birthday?
Or
And-
smoke.
Or would you smoke or drink with your adult child? Adult.
So, because I'm always straight up, but I always try to support as best as I can. I don't have kids like you guys do, but remember I was once a kid too. So I always have to put all this out because people are like, you shouldn't be saying anything at all. You don't have kids, so what would you know?
I get that.
So you can't have.
But you're an auntie.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
see it
I,
too.
so I always
Godmother.
have to put this.
Yes.
Cause knows I always have to put this in the forefront because I get this a lot, even from my own family members, right? So, but I think you have to expose them to certain things, and you want them to know that they can do that with you to an extent, but then you don't want to lose that respect. That's where I get concerned with, like that worries me, because if I know I can come to you as my mother and we have a bond,
Right.
I feel more safe. I will trust you more, so then you will know more, and I won't rebel as much or do want to do something I
Correct.
shouldn't be doing.
Correct.
Mind you, yes, we fall, we get into things. Yeah, because I do too. And then we get into things we never thought we would be in, but hey, it happens. You get up, you learn, you grow, and you move on. So it's always hard for me to answer this question because I would want to have that relationship that we should go together. But then the respect has to also be there. That's my parent, you know, and that understanding. So
You can.
No, of course.
You can.
But it's not like you're going all the time. It's just for their 18th birthday.
I don't know if I'd go on the 18th.
Maybe not you, but you're.
I
If
think
you were
I would
married,
wait
you had the
till-
husband.
Yeah,
would
I
you
would.
you be okay if he said, "I'm taking our son
I don't think.
to the strip club"?
I don't think 18 should be the age.
19, whatever the
More
legal age is.
older, a little bit more older, because you'd want to talk about things. You'd want to go, you know, have discussions about things. I think 18 might be too early.
We'll say 19 because we'll say 19. We'll go 19
Let's say 21.
because you
Sure.
can drink at
Okay.
19. Okay.
21.
So maybe then, yes.
Well, I understand say 19 because over here it's 19.
Right.
That's the reason I said 19. I'm just running with that. And the only reason I say at 19 is because if you do wait the next few years, they might have already gone.
And you're correct. And that's the other
Right.
point. Yes, you're correct. So that way, I even still want to have that open relationship, even though they might have gone already, might have done
Yeah.
whatever. But I want to be able to also have that open relationship with them too, right? So they can feel comfortable and safe, but then not, as we say, take their eyes off past you, right?
Yeah. It's you know what I would say then? For purposes of video, it's not even the 18th birthday. Just be like, listen, you want to. First time you're ready, come to me.
Legal age.
So it doesn't have to be 19. It doesn't have to be 20.
No, the
they
legal
they
age.
might be
the
like they
legal age.
You're right. The legal age.
obviously illegal. I'm saying
Yeah.
if it's not on that day, maybe they didn't even want to on that day. But you just be like, listen, the first time you're ready to experience strip club, drugs, not drugs. Let me say weed, alcohol. Come to me first. I want us to do. I was trying to tell them. I don't know if you weren't here right here, but I want your first experience to be with me, so I can at least gauge maybe what you can tolerate, and I can tell you, and I can kind of educate you on what you're doing. Because if you do it with friends, you're all the same age.
So what if you don't
They're
do
going to be
that?
ignorant
I
to
would
it,
have wanted
and they're going
that,
to tell
but
you
I could never
keep
go
drinking.
to my mom.
Okay, well, what if
Even
you don't
now-
do that? What if the father don't do that weed or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Don't do any of that stuff. Then
Then
what? Then how
if,
would you
if I
know how to engage
if I
him?
have a friend that I know and I trust, or it could be another family member that you trust. Hey, listen, you want to experience this? Go to your uncle, or you want to experience this? Come to me. Come
So
to me. I
basically,
will
what
put-
you're saying is, as long as it's in a controlled environment.
I want them to be controlled when they
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
it, because if you're out of control when you do it, you're gonna think this is my. You go with your friends. As I said, your friends are not gonna. Most of them, if they're doing the same, they're not stalking you because they're gonna go. They want you to keep going.
Right.
As
and
long as they
want-
can keep
want
going,
to do it as a joke.
and
too.
they don't know
like
you're tolerant.
You're funny, and
Yeah.
I'm videotaping it and I'm uploading it.
And they know
Okay.
you're already smiling. Oh, yeah, keep feeding me more.
So
keep feeding
what
me more.
if you are not about that life and you are a Christian person
I will find
and
someone.
you only know of the Bible inside and out?
Well, then I'll be teaching them that.
Then and they come and say,
Yeah.
Mom, I want to go to I'm gonna go with my friends to a strip club. What, or father, what do you do with that situation when you are trying to gauge your kids
I'm-
to be in this
And
like
I'm not
Christian
stopping them?
environment?
But
I'm not,
okay,
obviously, if I'm the Christian, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna try and stop them.
you're
Okay.
gonna try
But
to
if they
stop them,
don't-
but they're gonna do it
Yeah.
anyway. So if they're going to do it, it actually needs to be in a controlled environment. Because
So
that
then you're a
means- wait, hold
hypocrite
on.
to be
No,
No, no,
no,
I
you're
will
a
find someone.
hypocrite.
Like I said, I
It's
will
not a
find
hypocrite
someone. It's not
because here's the
hypocrite.
thing.
Because they're doing it regardless. like you
Kids
said.
that are raised in strictly Christian households tend to
Rebel.
rebel times more because we're not
Especially when they're
having
legal.
those real life conversations with them, and they're the ones that end up on drugs, addicted to this, into pornography, and other kind of spirits that we now need to pray off of them, right? So we
Because
need
they've been
to.
held in shelters so
I'm a
long.
I'm a Christian
bottled up.
parent, but at the end of the day, I still need to listen to what my kids are going through because they're gonna do it anyways. I need to be able to control what it is they're doing. So I'd rather them tell me than going out there with Tom, Dick, and Harry and ending up on A, B, C, D, E and on Skid Road,
Yeah.
and
And
I had
having
no
them trust
control
you.
of it.
Good point.
But the thing is it's good you're like that because even now with my mom, it's so funny because a few days ago, there was a movie that came on, and I said, Mom, I couldn't watch this. Even now, I said to her, I couldn't watch this movie or these types, certain movies with you. I cannot watch. And she, at one point, she didn't understand, and then she said, Wait, you know what? Yeah, I understand where you're going because you respect me. So how could I even say, Mom, let's go to this? Because my mom's Christian too. She wouldn't. Obviously, she doesn't do that stuff, and so I could never say, Mom, let's go, right? So there's a certain respect too that